Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It's been a couple of weeks. Wasn't mine and James's fault. The Premier League just had a break. We had our first international break for a little while, and I kind of welcomed it in a weird way. It was actually kind of nice to have a little bit of a break, see where we are within the scape of football. Obviously, with the news about Conte and stuff, we still had some football news to digest. Nagelsmann, Tuchel, was all happening. But game week 28 was in the books. It was kind of a short week. And guys, we need to name and shame James here. James got one correct result in game week 28. James, what happened? What the hell is that?
I would like to apologize to the whole Box to Box football community, Jack.
Don't apologize.
Family.
I should be thanking you.
No, I represented you guys wrong, and maybe I don't know, maybe because I was a bit too relaxed and I kind of went for all the safe stuff. But to be fair, the Chelsea one I was going to get right, and then they just let it slip last minute. A few of them were a bit last minute, but again, got to do better, and I will do better, guys. I really do apologize there.
I didn't do brilliantly either. I only got 3 right, but James, I did get the correct score, so I got that sneaky bonus point. So it ended 4-1 for the week. We were tied. We're not tied anymore. I'm on 135. James is on 132. Hoping to claw back some points this week. James, we're going to dive straight into game week 29. Big one. No messing around to start off. Manchester City at home, welcoming a maybe resurgent Liverpool. Who have you got taking that one?
Ooh, okay. Me being an Arsenal fan, I'm hoping for a Liverpool win, of course. But I just think you look at the way City are right now. They got Erling Haaland. He's been bagging in goals all season, but it's in his last 2 games or 3 games, he's 9 goals, which is just absolutely
insane,
ridiculous. He just can't stop scoring. And to be fair, City, especially when it comes to this clutch moment of the season, you begin to start seeing them, even when they're not playing well, Jack, they're getting results. We've seen that with Crystal Palace. Liverpool are in need of a win, and if this game was at Anfield, I'm picking a Liverpool win without a shadow of a doubt. But you have to look at the location of it. It is City are home, so to me they do have the bigger advantage there. Liverpool don't have a great record away to City, so I'm going to say it's going to be 2-1 to Man City, Jack.
James, I got the same scoreline. Erling Haaland's a freak show. Again, like if City are going to do well, Erling Haaland's going to score. That's what happens. Again, we've spoken on numerous videos about the efficacy of him and how maybe it's not what the stats might tell you, and I stand by that. But at the end of the day, he's the one with the goals, putting the ball in the back of the net, and he's going to continue to do that. The home factor is huge here. You already touched on it. At the Etihad, I have 2-1 as well. I think it'll be pretty cagey. This Liverpool team still has speed and still can break with speed if they need to. Do I think they break with speed more than once in terms of being able to score a goal? Not so much. I'm going to give them credit for 1, but I just think Man City controlled this one. Kind of a cagey game and a relatively comfortable 2-1. Staying with me. Bournemouth, Fulham. Bournemouth were really bad, and then put some results together and were okay, and then once are great, and then kind of got better again. And again, this is a team that shouldn't really be in the Premier League. It's just because their performances have brought them up to this spot. I don't think we think that they have the caliber of player and the class of player to stay in this league. It's just from playing good football, and sheer force of will that they're here. Fulham, on the other hand, have some talent. They have a good manager. They have some serious players there. I just think Bournemouth will score. And I know this is my kind of maybe upset of the week in a way, because Bournemouth are going to be without a few players because of those red card debacles in the FA Cup. I do think Fulham still snagged this one 2-1. Manor Solomon, I don't think is that massive of a drop down for somebody like Alexander Mitrovic within this Fulham team setup. I actually do think he's solid and provides a really good goal threat. So 2-1 Fulham away at Bournemouth there. James, who have you got?
Jack, 2 promoted teams. 2 teams that this is the 4th time that they're going to be playing each other in 2 different contrasts. Fulham define expectations, mid-table are absolutely fine. Bournemouth, Jack, as you said, come to the start of the season, especially start of the season, you didn't think that they deserve to be in the Premier League. You look at this Scott Parker dismissal and him just kind of giving up on a club that they didn't give him enough to compete. And sometimes you felt like that. But another time, Jack, you've seen the performance against Arsenal narrowly losing out there. I thought as much as they lost 4-1 to City, they performed well. They also beat Liverpool at home, Jack. So they've had some decent wins to be fair to say, and also performances. They are second, no, they are 19th in the table, Jack, but a win can take them 13. So it just shows you how tight it is down there.
Wild. Yeah.
It's crazy tight. I think they're going to do it, Jack. I'm going to say, based on the fact that also Fulham I'm going to be missing Mitrovic, Willian, and their manager also being sent out after that crazy Manchester United game, which took a lot of emotion out the team.
Right.
In general, I'm going to say 1-0 Bournemouth.
Yeah, look, it's scary, and I could easily see it going that way. James, we will stick with you. Nottingham Forest, Wolves coming to town. Who have you got in that one?
Again, Jack, when like me talking about Nottingham Forest overall, the one thing for me is that there was a time when they looked very, very safe, and they kind of believed their own hype, because we question how many players that they signed. They got themselves going, and we're thinking, okay, they were sitting about 11, 12 at a time, a decent gap away from the drop zone, and now, Jack, they're right back in there. They're only 2 points in it, so they need to find a result here or there. Only a point separates them and Wolves, so this is almost like a 6-pointer for both teams. This is their second game ever in the Premier League. Wolves won the last one, and I'm just going to say Wolves are going to do it again, Jack. I'm going to say 1-0 Wolves, Jack.
1-0 Wolves. I respect it. I mean, look, a negative 27 goal difference sticks out like a sore thumb. I mean, I know it's tight down there, but I mean, that's not good. You should be way down there if you've got a minus 27 goal difference. So they will concede. Clean sheets are not something that Nottingham Forest come by. I like Steve Cooper, but I don't think he's it. I don't think he's going to be the guy if this club wants to take the next step. And, I mean, does he have any longer than the next 12 months in the job? Probably not, if we're being perfectly honest. Wolves, though, again, my hot pick for next year to perform above expectations. But for this year, I still think they're trying to piece it together. I still think Lopetegui's trying to figure it out. And I just think the fact that it's at Forest is going to give them something. I think Brennan Johnson is a really, really nice player. I believe he's fit. So I think he'll be playing, and he'll probably put some really good work in that. Again, this Wolves team shouldn't be losing to Forest, but Forest kind of desperate. Wolves not as good as they should be. I'm just going to go with Nottingham Forest 2-1, but I don't feel super confident about it. That game could be a draw. Wolves could win. Forest could win. I have no idea with that one.
It's a proper 6-pointer.
Yeah, big one. Staying with me, Palace Leicester. James, Patrick Vieira's not there anymore. And what do we know about new manager bounces? Well, we know that they exist, and there's way too much of a history for those things existing to just discredit it and think it won't happen. So I think Palace come out, play with a bit of freedom, trying to impress whoever the new manager or the prospective manager is going to be. I'm going to say 3-1. It's at home. I just think that they'll play with the brakes off completely, and I think that they'll just blow by this Leicester team. Again, we say it every week. There's Leicester City players there playing for their next contract. They couldn't give a you-know-what about Leicester City, because Tielemans is trying to play for Real Madrid, not for Leicester City. James Maddison's ready to move. There's a lot of moving parts there. So I just think Palace come in, roll over Leicester City 3-1.
I mentioned 6-pointer before, Jack. This is under 6-pointer to me when I look at it. My biggest thing take from this game, Jack, is that Wolves, Leicester at some point need to just step up.
Right.
Because, Jack, they're 1 point off the drop zone.
We've been saying that all year, though, haven't we?
Jack, and if West Ham win their game in hand, Jack, they're going into the bottom 3.
Right.
So all this kind of confidence, okay, yeah, we're fine. Jack, they're not really fine.
No.
They could easily get relegated, and all the riches that they have can go down into the ground. Of course, you're not going to take what they've done in the past, Jack. If you look at the last 5 games for both teams, Jack, no wins in the last 5. It looks nasty. I see a bunch of L's there. I'm going to sit on the fence here, Jack, and I'm going to say this game is going to be 1-0. I just don't. With Crystal Palace is that I like the play that they have, but do they have a killer there? Do they have somebody that's going to put the ball in the back of the net? I don't think they do.
Right.
And you see a lot of games that they play, Jack. There's a lot of draws there or there's a lot of 1-0s. They're not a team that concedes a lot, but they're not a team who scores a lot too. So I'm going to say it's going to be 1-0.
Yeah, look, I don't blame you. I kind of just think the new bounce will kick on, but again, I could see that happening for sure.
Also,
And
Roy, they might need to go down with Roy because I'm sick of seeing him. He's how old is he, Jack?
I know, I don't. I think he's in
Like,
his 70s at this point. Yeah, it's kind of
like,
wild.
like, leave the man alone. He
Yeah.
shouldn't be a manager.
Um, James, I know this seems to happen by chance every week, but we'll stay with you and we'll talk about Arsenal. Arsenal welcoming Leeds United. This is a great, really cool kind of Premier League fixture. Not as competitive this time round, though, I think, as it was back in the day. But James, who have you got Arsenal against Leeds?
Um, I do see Leeds getting a goal, Jack, but again, it's very, very simple. Leeds, to be fair, they've done really well to get out of the drop zone, but as I said, Jack, it's so tight in there. One bad result, and then they can be right in that relegation zone. But I don't see them being Arsenal. I don't want them to be Arsenal. I hope they don't beat um Arsenal, and Arsenal are at home. The only team that's been able to beat them there this season has been Man City. I think Newcastle were able to get a point there. We seem to be quite formidable at home, but I do see them getting a goal in. For some reason, we have this leaky defense at home where they might just sneak a little goal here or there. So I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal, Jack.
I got the same score, but I think Arsenal keep a clean sheet. 3-0. Way better team everywhere on the pitch, better manager at home. Positive vibes going everywhere. Gabriel Jesus back, blah blah blah. I know there are a couple of like niggling injuries recently for the Arsenal European game and stuff, but like realistically, those legs, you know, those miles on the legs for those Arsenal players. There's been a little bit of a break here as well, and you
I
know,
wouldn't say that.
with a lot of these top teams as well, the international break, they don't go too hard as they would with club football, as they would with club football. So for me, this is a routine Arsenal win. I don't think they're in any danger of losing this. Comfortable, convincing 3-0 win. Staying with me, James, this can be my game of the week. This is like one of my
Okay.
this is one of my favorite Premier League fixtures at the moment. These are two teams that are just way outperform what they should be doing. And again, with more money, these are teams that should be fighting in the top four. It's just purely because they don't have the money to upgrade the talent that they have across the pitch, that they're not doing it. But they're squeezing every bit of, you know, water out of that stone that they can, right? James, I've got 3-3 Brighton versus Brentford.
Wow.
I think this can be a blockbuster. I think it's going to be a blockbuster. De Zerbi continuing the great work from Graham Potter, Thomas Frank, and how brilliant he's been with this Brentford team. Again, Brighton can lose players, but then you pull out somebody like Mitoma out of nowhere who can just be amazing. Solly March in good form. Similarly with Brentford, Ivan Toney, these kinds of guys in there. Jensen playing well as well. So for me, 3-3, an absolute classic. And these are two teams that are very evenly matched. So I'm looking forward to it. They're safe too, so hopefully they'll play with the brakes off a bit.
It's crazy there because Jack predicted that could be the first draw in the history of of this fixture,
Wow.
Jack, because they've only played 3 times. This will be their 4th game, and they've always been a winner there. Both teams have been absolutely flying this year, Jack. Brentford, you're thinking, okay, second season syndrome. We see it all the time there. They just keep on,
Where is it?
they just keep on playing.
Right.
Ivan Toney balling there, Thomas Frank doing his thing top side, and then on the other side, Brighton. Jack, if they mess about, they got 3 games in hand. If they mess about, Jack, they could be looking at Champions League football. That's not me That's not me just kind of making a joke of it. No. Like mathematically, they win the next 3 games in hand. They go 4th. They
Right.
are a serious team. We
Yeah.
thought that they reached a height with Graham Potter. Getting better and better and better. They're scoring goals, even more entertaining. I'm I enjoy watching them a lot. Like Matoma, I'm a football coach, Jack, and I've just been watching so many clips of him just to watch how he dribbles, to show people this is how it's done. Brilliant,
Yeah.
I see them winning, Jack.
Yeah.
3-3, I would love that, but I'm going to say it's going to be Brighton, and I'm going to say Brighton's going to win 3-1.
3-1. Wow, with a bit of authority as well. I like it. James, staying with you, is this a resurgent Chelsea that we're seeing with Aston Villa coming to town here? Now, I know that obviously it wasn't perfect in their most recent game, but Chelsea, Aston Villa coming off that win, that 2-1 win as well. So you tell me, what are you thinking here?
Oh, okay. What am I? First of all, my camera's going a bit mad here. Chelsea need 40 points. You
Right.
know, they're still Jack. They're
That's all
still
they
in and
care about.
around. You know, they're still. I get it. It's 38 points, but and they should be safe. But usually they just got to be safe. And all that money that they spend, they need to kind of stay in the Premier League. Jack, when you look at it, both teams are level on points. If Aston Villa win, they go above Chelsea.
That was nuts.
It's mad because I want to say, when are Chelsea going to kick on? We thought after them two results, Jack, um, like they were going to kick on. They weren't able. They go against Everton. They drop points. I don't see where this goes. And Villa, on the other hand, are very, very unpredictable. Where
Right.
they can have a result, they can have some poor results, but majority of the time since Emery's there, it's been positive in the Jack. You look at the last three games. I mean, you look at the last four games. They won three, drawn one. I think they're going to get a result at Stamford Bridge.
How big of a result?
Aston Villa win 2-1. I want to say 3-1. Okay, Aston Villa win 3-2.
3-2. Man, what a game.
3-2.
Damn.
You know,
I'm going 2-1. Again, I might be falling into this trap. They'll drop points, it'll be a draw. I'll feel like an idiot for another week running, but James, I can't look at that team sheet and go, "Oh, they'll lose." I just can't do it. I can't bring myself to do it, but we see it every week. So, maybe I need to hit on the head. I don't know. Um, yeah, look, it's got to come good at some point. And again, I was at the pub with friends recently. James, I've completely forgot Christopher and Kunku's joining these guys in the summer. Like, it is a nuts situation what they got going on at Chelsea at the moment. And again, James, is it going to shock you if they potentially get relegated, but then also win the Champions League? To me, it would just be the most Chelsea thing ever. So again, who knows what's going to happen? They're a weird club. Staying with me, West Ham, Southampton. James, 1-1. I have no idea what I'm looking at when I look at these two teams. Like, none, literally none. These are like West Ham. I've been stung time after time doing the predictions, and I'm not being stung again. I'm just going to play it conservative. Southampton, again, I know what they're capable of, but I'm not, again, I get stung over and over again. This is another one of those fixtures where I do not have a feel for at all. The smart part of my brain wants to just say that it's a home victory for West Ham, but the way they've played this year, I don't trust them. And Southampton, again, whenever I think they'll play well, they don't, and then I get stung there. So I'm going to go 1-1 and just hope for the best. Who have you got in that one?
again, Jack, when I look at this fixture, both teams, you talk about 6-pointer. It's a must win for both teams. Now, I think it's an even bigger of a must win for West Ham because they're flying in the Europa Conference League, and that might be a little bit more of a bigger, just bigger for them overall. Because to win a European trophy for West Ham is massive. But Jack, they're 18th. They're in danger of really getting relegated. Upon all the signings, they have and the players that they haven't seemed to put it together this season, and it's weird. I really don't know what's going on with them. On the other hand, you mentioned Southampton. How weird of a team. You thought that they were going to drop points against Tottenham. 3-1 down, they come back. They go away to Old Trafford. You're thinking they're going to lose. They get a point, Jack. Just so many. Even, for instance, they played Leicester, 1-0. But they're bottom of the table, Jack. They do have these crazy. They do have these crazy results in them, as we mentioned on a number of occasions. But I just like to think that West Ham need to put it together, and this is a must-win for them. I'm going to back them here, Jack. I'm going to back them. I'm going to say 2-1 West Ham. I'm going to back them. I want them to stay up. I believe they're going to stay up. I believe they have the quality to stay up. 2-1 West Ham at the London Stadium.
Speaking of a team that got a result against Manchester United, here are Manchester United. They're making their way to Newcastle, a really cool Premier League fixture, especially at the moment with Newcastle doing so well, and kind of a Manchester United kind of back in terms of their form as well and their ability to win games. Newcastle United, Manchester United, how do you see it going, James? A big one.
Jack, it's not big, it's huge.
It is
massive. this notion of Man United were in this title race, and Jack, to a certain point, yes, they are. But if I look at the table right now, with a Newcastle win, Jack, it takes Manchester United out again. Obviously, Tottenham have to win too, but it will take Manchester United out of the top four based on goal difference. Because after that 7-0 trashing against City, their goal difference is
That'll do it.
absolutely plummet. You know, it's what, Jack? It's +6 to +7 in Newcastle's favor. So Manchester United, they're gonna have to go to Newcastle, and they desperately need to leave there with something. Where am I gonna go here? Casemiro's still out, so he's got 2 more games left. So you got two. Let's say.
Oh, does the FA Cup one count?
It should do. It should do. So he is probably 3 more games. So he won't be available.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go here. Okay.
Oh, I've got a pretty clear idea on this one.
I'm gonna say, I think they're gonna do it. I think Newcastle are gonna do Manchester United at home. I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle.
I have the reverse. Newcastle will score first. I guarantee it. Newcastle will score first. Manchester United will score, and then they'll score late, and they'll do it. And it's been the kind of the way of this team right now. I don't think it's necessarily been convincing, but the whole stuff that we hear from the pundits each and every week about Manchester United is kind of true. They're kind of back. This is what Manchester United do. They never look super convincing and in control of what's happening, but it's counter-attack, blockbuster football, and in the dying moments, they're going to get what they need to get to either snag a draw or to get a win. And I don't know. I just feel like that's the way it's going to shake out. The one difference, though, James, this is the best defense in the league. So if you're going to do it, you need to do it. But again, if you've got the most informed, if we kind of exclude Erling Haaland because he's an alien, you've got the most informed guy in the Premier League as your kind of strike force, who was injured on international duty. We love how Manchester United players like to get away with that one, especially during the Ferguson days. I think Marcus Rashford's going to be, fresh, fit, ready, and raring to go. So 2-1 Manchester United on that one for me.
My only thing there too is that Newcastle, they went through a blip, and recently they've been able to snag 2 very, very big results against Wolves, where 1-0 they get the late goal. I think they went 1-0 down against Nottingham Forest. They got 2 goals from Isak there, and also he's balling. So people need to don't sleep on what he has. So either way, Jack.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. I'm excited for it for sure. Right. Final game of the week, and we've just finished chatting about it for a little while. Tottenham are going to Liverpool. They're going to Everton. They're going to the city of Liverpool, but they're playing Everton. Everton at home against Tottenham. James, 4-1 Tottenham. The weight's been lifted. Yeah, wow. The weight's been lifted. They're ready to go. Sean Dyche is going to do his low block and do all that kind of stuff. But this Spurs team are going to be delighted that Antonio Conte's not there, and they're going to just let loose and go wild on this Everton team. The new manager bump seems to have dissipated a little bit. It's going to be a fight for survival for Sean Dyche. I think he'll do it because he's that kind of guy, and I think that's what he'll be capable of. But I can just see this one where I think Spurs maybe go ahead early, make it 2, maybe make it 3. Everton snag one back out of desperation, but too much space on the pitch. I think Spurs will go nuts. 4-1 Spurs for that one, in my opinion.
It depends to me what is it going to look like with the manager situation, because is it going to be Ryan Mason?
No, it's begins with an S. It's one of the assistants. Let me if you keep going.
Scaloni, but I know Mason will also be
Christian
in charge too.
Stellini will have his chance to be in charge, and he's going to be the head coach until the end of the season.
Oh, guaranteed.
Yeah, Mason. Okay. Ryan Mason will be his assistant.
Okay. When you look at Spurs' record, actually, at the Everton game, they're overall, Jack, they dominate this fixture. The last few times that that they played them, it's been quite comfortable from them. Since, if I'm being honest, since Sean Dyche has been Everton manager, hasn't been crazy convincing, Jack. It's been up and down. It's been some good results there. He started off great, and then obviously the Liverpool result hasn't been amazing. Tottenham do need a victory. Maybe the manager bounce does get them I'm going to agree with you, Jack. I'm not going to go as bold as you went. I'm going to go one bit lower. I'm going to say
Nice. Right, I'll key this
3-2.
in.
I'm going to say 3-2 Tottenham, Jack.
3-2.
I don't know where Everton going to get goals from, but they're going to get goals. You're going to get goals somewhere, Jack. They got 2 at Stamford Bridge. They're going to get 2 somewhere.
Own goals they got to get. Guys, let us know what you think. It is good to be back. I'm excited the Premier League's back. I'm ready for this run-in. I'm hoping that Arsenal don't snag the title too early. I know James probably doesn't feel that way. I'm hoping that top 4 is not confirmed too early. I'm hoping relegation isn't confirmed too early. I want some drama on game week 38. I know all you neutrals out there do as well. Drop your predictions in the comment section. If you like the video, do drop a like on the video as well. And then while you're down there, please make sure that you're subscribed. James and I would really appreciate it. James, anything else from you, mate?
Guys, like, share, and subscribe. And as we say every single week when we're doing this, we want to hear your predictions. Don't just chat. Want to hear your predictions? Comment down below. Let us know. This is Box to Box Football, and me and Jack will see you in the next video.